Why hello there, fellow ace pilots. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 33. First confirmed ship kill. Oh, there's another ship there. Hopefully it's not a... Oh boy, there's other ships shooting at each other. P22V is fighting someone else. I don't know, someone over here. And then KOH... alright. What I need to do right now, I'm going to pause the game, is... What we're hoping to do is to track down Ashley again. Because, I don't know, maybe she isn't like 48 years old with tuberculosis. But I need to remember her, like, ship's sign. Where'd she go? I'm filtering out dead people. Did she already die? Alright, don't filter out the dead. Wait, Layla's already dead? And Ashley's dead. Okay. We're gonna need to find someone on the station that knows how to fly. They probably died in transit back to station and like... Or maybe they got caught up in whatever this is here. I don't know what that is. I don't know... Who is P22V? This is the pirate, isn't it? This is the mega pirate? So here's the advantage of like tagging other ships, right? I can see that this is a friendly ship. You got... The P22V is, I think, the hostile ship, the pirate ship that we had made contact with before. You are... patrolling Travis Kelly and Chen Atkins. Okay. Are you who are you? Belt pirates. All right. Mark and hostile. What about you? You are Galfed. I'll mark friendly. I don't know who you are, though. I don't want to talk to this one. I'm going to talk to this one. So this is a pirate shooting someone up, trying to murder people. All right, next up, F703. Hill ship F703 crew list. I think they're cops. They are what? Responding undecided. Oh, okay. But I'm guessing they're cops. And then this is this another belt pirate? Yeah, this is another belt pirate. So there's two belt pirates down here that I need to avoid. So how about we just start accelerating upwards towards or away from them? Because, yeah, sticking around here doesn't seem to be healthy for our longevity. And then there's whatever this is. I don't know why I don't have a comms signal on them yet, but, I mean, obviously they're here. Turn off transponder, see on the pirates? Sounds like a really good way to commit suicide. I have 39 bullets in my railgun, and they have, like, enough missiles to tell everyone to go away violently. I get that there's a lot of mythology of David versus Goliath, but, like, David was an idiot. He and got lucky. He had God on his side. I don't have a god on my side, so I'm gonna do that. It's crazy that I have no idea who this is. They are only 200 kilometers away, and I have no signal. Whatever. Alright, what about you? I'm gonna slow down time. That's an interesting ship design. Hail ship, you. patrolling. And you're gal fed? Alright, I'll mark you friendly. And as we slowly like mark down all the ships, I'll have a better grasp on friend v foe for who to avoid, who to interact with. It could be a dead ship. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know what? Let's... Oh god. I died. Because I was speeding stupidly backwards, and I knew it. I just had no time to react. 16 speed trying to talk to people on the radio is a bad time. It's a really, really bad time. I hope there was an autosave 13 minutes ago. Ugh. I'll try to do better than that. Because, yeah. Moving at like kilometers per second in an asteroid belt that's like irrationally dense is dangerous, and honestly just making sure that you not slam into things is like hard enough. Adding in avoiding pirates and trying to like contact people and get crew lists and ask for statuses is just like probably a bit too much moving it at speed. And at the speed I was traveling at, there's no you're just pancaked. Everything is just pancaked. So the Belt Pirate's really active in, I think, the southern section of the mid-asteroid zone. So we'll make sure to give them a wide berth up until at least we have the means, the weapons, arms, armor, etc. to actually deal with them. But there were two of them, one of me, and they not only they outnumber me, but they outmaneuver me. As I continually mention, that is the one thing that you don't ever get better at, unfortunately, which is that enemy ships can pull maneuvers that you can't reasonably pull yourself, which puts you at ultimately at a disadvantage that is very, very difficult to overcome unless you have like overwhelming weapons. The same save scum might have saved Ashley's life, probably, but also like she's probably just gonna die anyway. The trouble is, and it's an unfortunate part of this game, is like the AI has never been all that smart, and the game doesn't give them plot armor. So like the NPCs that are on stations, like if it was up to me, I might have even given them plot armor. So when people like are on K-Leg, they just can't be killed, reasonably speaking, and like also make it so that K-Leg can't have like leaks or be messed with or whatever, sabotaged. But this game takes the approach of like, hey, it's just a sandbox, do whatever. But the consequence of that is things can go so very wrong in a way that you cannot control that it becomes a bit of a problem at times. That's just essentially by design, their chosen design. And it's maybe not the design I would have taken, only because it can make your game go off the rails quickly. And then some games like take a middle ground, like Kenshi, where like in Kenshi, you can have the game go off the rails if like one faction steamrolls another faction and it like really changes the local politics in a way that you wouldn't necessarily, that is unusual, right? But there are some safeguards. There's like, well, if that does happen, then X, Y, or Z happens. There's some like contingencies. And this game sort of fundamentally lacks the contingencies of like, well, when things go off the rails, then what? You know, when K-Leg or some station has no atmosphere, the people on the station don't know to like put on their masks. And the problem with that is then, yeah, everyone dies and that station becomes a ghost town, and like any of the quests and gigs related to that station are, you know, impossibly done, etc., etc. And the problem is, it's like I would rather have it be like less sandbox. It's weird to say because I love sandbox games, but I'd rather have it be less sandbox for the sake of increased playability than have it be super sandbox that can massively go off the rails and go awry so badly that you're inevitably have to save scum. So we're just digging up the two original rocky cores, and then this time I'm gonna focus on trying to get back to K-Leg, you know, safe, sound, and alive. Definitely a fair assessment. Yeah. I mean, sandboxes are great when they can't get so the whole purpose of the sandbox is it's contained, right? Like in concept, that the chaos is contained within. The problem is, some sandbox games can go so off the rails that you're like, the sandbox is essentially ruined. And I like sandbox that can kind of soft reset. So like Kenshi had that kind of like soft reset where it's like, this town is owned by this faction. And if it dies, it's then owned by this faction. If it gets invaded, it's then owned by that faction. And like the NPCs in the town don't normally just die. I mean, they could, you know, if you like kite a whole bunch of enemies into the base and get them overrun and the barman dies and the traders die. Like, it's possible. It's just the likelihood of your campaign in Kenshi going way off the rails into an alternate version that is like nearly unplayable was just a lot lower. Whereas in playtesting for this, I've had Calico City go completely vented out where like the regolith in the station gets mined or something, and then this whole station vents out and like everyone suffocates. And there isn't like, so either make it so that can't happen, where like the station can't just like lose atmo for no reason that isn't the player's fault, or make it so that if that does happen, everyone throws on their helmets and then patches it, which is a lot more complicated. And I kind of get that they didn't go that route, but the alternative is like, imagine if I went on like a multiple hour mining run and I filled my entire ship's berth with minerals, and then I head back to Calico Station and like everyone's dead. What am I going to do? Like lose the last 4 hours of mining to save scum? Or just to be like, okay, I guess this entire station died off and somehow I wasn't present for it. Because that's another thing of sandbox games, is some sandbox games have it so that like only the interesting things, and I, in a way I can actually say that I kind of appreciate this game for that a lot of sandbox games are sandbox, but it doesn't feel like anything actually significant happens unless you're present for it. Basically, the world around you is on pause. And some games get it right, like Kenshi or X4, where the world can change and you're not directly responsible for that change. But the change feels, and the changes feel significant enough to like, I don't know, yeah, I guess I'm rambling, but it's a very careful balance to try to strike, is essentially what I'm trying to say, which is that the world feels like you're a part of it, but that it does not revolve around you. And in this game, more than enough times, I've seen it that the world does not revolve around me, right? Things happen when I'm not present for it, but also like, I feel like an entire base should not just like all of a sudden die and fall off the map if I'm not like directly responsible as the party that did it, if that makes sense. Alex, thank you for the resub, and Alta Buffalo too. Alright, so I am trying to head back to Calico Base and or Port Mojave, whatever you want to call it, and I want to avoid those pirates in the south. I wouldn't mind tagging them as pirates so I know that they're red for the future, but I will do my best to not slam into things at bajillion miles an hour, and maybe what I'll do is also save. Done mining. I can also check if like Ashley's still alive. But like another space game that isn't actually much like this, that does get the whole like universe is alive, is X4, where like factions will wage war with one another and it isn't predetermined who wins those wars, and you're frequently not even involved in them. I mean, you can be. The game allows you to join those like quest lines to get you involved in factional disputes, but the world will change. Oh, yep, there's the pirates. You are a belt pirate, and I don't know who you're firing on. Probably you're firing on Ceres people. Wow, actually, look over there. There is a lot of stuff. That might just be bullets and missiles. There's a lot of stuff going on over there. Another decent one that I think didn't handle it all that well, because, like, the world felt kind of flat, would be, like, the Mountain Blade series, where, like, other factions are waging war with one another, and stuff happens whether you're involved or not. There's trade, there's food shortages, there's factions that decline or get eradicated or whatever. Like, basically, the world is dynamic. The reason why I don't think it feels that great is, like, it was also somewhat predetermined of, like, who wins, ultimately. Okay, yeah, so the pirate is killing a Ceres ship. This is the first time I'm able to actually show you this. See the red on that IR profile? That red there is damage. That is, like, rail weapons, probably, given the damage profile. Rail weapons that ripped apart the front of that ship. So there's going to be the O6QU out there is, like, definitely going to be a ghost ship soon, I think. Because I don't really see the Ceres dude winning. Maybe they do. Oh, they're kind of coming into my neighborhood. You know what? I did just save, didn't I? Screw it. Oh, this is such a bad idea, but screw it. Safety off. Thrusting. Okay. It would help if I didn't thrust that hard. Little overeager, am I? Stand up, dude. You're gonna die. Well, they are moving at 7 meters per second backwards. But, yeah, I'm gonna try to kill them. Or be involved in some way. Full warning, I expect to have to save scum again, but I'll try not to. There's a pretty limited amount of opportunities to get involved in stuff like this, so that's why I'm jumping on it. Because I have a Ceres, like, I don't even care who wins in this fight. So this is another Galfed ship. I'll just mark it as friendly. But it doesn't look like the Ceres ship has even landed any hits, though. Interestingly. TFF, what are you? Galfed, I can mark you as friendly. I'm also, like, flying into you, bud. I'm sorry. Can you change course? Here, I'm gonna, try to thrust harder or something. We are low-key on a collision course. I don't want to hit this asteroid either. Sorry, TFF. I know, I'm driving like an idiot. Well, the Ceres Coalition ship might have won, because the pirate looks messed up. Either way, I don't care. I got a gun. I'll board. I'll pick the bones. I'm not above that. So, in prepping to pick bones, let's pause a second, pull off that, put in time zoom. Oops, I did that wrong. And then, oops, didn't mean to do that either. I don't have a lot of space for stuff, but whatever, I'll figure it out. Alright, what we're going to want to do is start to decelerate. Probably. I don't see how the Ceres people won. I didn't see them fire, but they did, as far as I could tell. The other thing we could do is, honestly, shoot them up too, right? They're a hostile faction, technically speaking. But I do have the radar profile for the other one. So let's try to cut our cross velocity with the Ceres ship and just like give them a very rude hello. And by rude hello, I mean like fire on them without even contacting them. Yeah, that pirate ship is drifting pretty hard. And as much as I could scavenge the pirate ship, which I think likely got destroyed, I'd rather actually shoot something down myself. And shooting down a Ceres ship where we get rep for it is all the better. Oops, too much. I wish there was like a safety override thrust limiter modifier where you could like modify the upper end of the safety override, because it'll keep you under like 1.8 Gs or something, but I want to just stay below like, let's say 4 Gs or something like that. Alright, so that pirate ship's still drifting, and this one is it's still moving pretty fast. We're closing on it, though. Hello there. Oh god. Was close. Alright, slowing down time. They're within my lock. I'm gonna get target lock. Ho ho, what's up? Their ship looks quite red. I might not need to even fire anymore, to be perfectly honest. I think I one-shot them. I think I threaded a coil gun shot, like, through their entire ship and just, like, wrecked it. The other thing to note is faction ties. Yeah, I think I splashed them. Yeah, I definitely splashed them. I was not at -93 before. I done killed this dude. So now I have to slow down and try to board this thing, and I'm moving at like 4 kilometers a second in the wrong direction. I hate this. I don't know whether they're called a bug or not, but it's like a target locking thing where it thinks I'm trying to like continually lock onto this target, which I'm not. So sorry about the very loud beeps. Save. Splashed. Yes, I did a Tokyo Drift drive-by. Yeah, that's true. I was like, you know, swing. I was just like blam blam blam, and then they were dead. More like honestly a gangster hit, but you know, Tokyo Drift makes it sound a lot more sexy than it probably was. All right. So we're trying to decelerate to land on this, and then I think this is the other pirate ship up there. I'll try to like keep an eye on where it is. Does anyone know the transponder code for that other pirate ship that got splashed? Because I would like to also dock to that to figure out if it's like money, but I forget its I forget its code. Strafing, yes, but it was a drive-by kill. Am I moving away from it or towards it? I'm trying to like fix my cross velocity to this thing, but it's drifting hard. There we go. I'm not convinced I'm, like, moving towards it as an intercept. Effectively. I see my ETA going down, but, like, my relative velocity is going up. Where is it going? No, it's getting closer. I don't think it's under active thrust. I think it is dead. But it's acting sketchy. Alright, let's slow down. Relative. No, that's the wrong way. It's... I'm having a hard time figuring out how to, like, board this thing. So as long as the range is decreasing, I'm, like, heading towards it. And I want to decrease the relative velocity between both of us, but it's flying along. So once I tether to it, I need to, like, slam the brakes hard. Because it's, There we go. Okay, so we have it on... Oh, I screwed that up. Have it on vision. Actually see what we're trying to board. Killing all my cross velocity. .300 meters per second for this distance seems fine. I think we're still on an active approach. Yep. And I'll use nitrogen gas to decelerate. There it is, potentially our first kill. Or kill assist. I mean, I didn't solo it, but I definitely killed it. I also have a gun, because there's a non-zero chance I disabled the ship, but not the pilot. So I need to make sure that I neutralize the enemy faction person on it. Because they might fire back. That's all the fun part of the game. And after this, we'll try to find the drifting pirate, too. You won't tell anyone? No, I want you to tell people. This is for my company rep. The Furious Scanner. Docking. Primary dock. Force it. If I'm forcing it, I think that indicates that they're still alive. And I must have just taken out their, like, thrust. Or disabled the ship enough that they can't move on their own. Carry a gun in Katana Weeb style? That's kind of the plan. Might be weeb, but it works. So a C2C Lunomax. Ariana. Oh, you're a cop. Two of them, I think. Dong Hood and Ariana. All right, cool. Where's my... Oh, my back... I dropped my backpack. That's a problem. Alright, first thing I want to do is toggle power to the switch and grab Hunter's bag. Cup. Or helmet. Gun. And I'll do the less lethal rounds. Now these guys are floating over. I don't have any holes in my ship, so I don't really know where they're trying to move to. But all the same, let's restore power and head on over. I don't know if they got hit, but they're going to be coming to me. Yeah, here we go. I pounded his legs. They're demanding my surrender. One of them's down. You're offering surrender. Oh no, you're demanding it. You know what? Alright, fine. You want to be like that? Sure. Alright, you are blacking out. And your buddy is dead. Alright, far as bullets go, let's reload, because I used 27 out of 30 rounds in that carbine. I didn't bother picking up my katana. You know what? That's fine. You can do you. So, we got LiDAR here. Nice. We got optical sensors, thrusters. We've got, lots of thrusters. A Hydra, 2 coolers, a bank of batteries, EM sensor, IR sensor, radar, LiDAR, a railgun that they never shot me with. Oh, you're still moving? Alright. You want to catch more? Catch more bullets? Agrees to surrender to me. Alright. No, I surrender to Ariana? No, sorry. They will do what I say. Okay. Are you gonna stop trying to follow me? I mean, you're gonna die anyway. It doesn't really matter what you do, to be honest. Because, you're completely dead. I've shot you so many times, there's no saving you at this point. Well, lovely to get a railgun. Is that a copy machine? Yep. Alright, we got old suits. I'm just gonna go through my spoils here. Oh, the other thing I just realized is we are, like, hurtling through space, and I might want to be aware of, like, what we're hurtling towards. Because yeah. So, are you dying? You are blacking out. Yeah, you're dying. I'm surprised I didn't break your suit, to be honest. Yeah, surrendering is weird. So, relative... Okay, I think this is probably the pirate ship, maybe? I don't even know, because I'm so far away from everywhere else. So what I'm going to do right now is tether. Secure docked vessel. And, like, slow us down in relation to, Ceres. Otherwise, I'm going to, like, eject out of the solar system. So relative velocity, yeah, we're ejecting pretty quick. I have no idea what's happening to her as I'm, like, actively decelerating, punching some high G's, but, you know, it's low-key not my problem. Hey, I'm making my own boneyard now. With actual bones. Sorry. Alright, so we're trying to slow down so that I can, like, loot this thing without entering Jupiter or whatever. Because otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. And then faction ties. Yeah, you like me even less. I'll figure. It's okay. I'll live with it. So we'll get the relative velocity down into the, like, the hundreds or tens rather than like 4,000, and that should help. In fact, let's do that. Alright, it's going to be like 17 hours until this thing hits Ceres or whatever. So that seems slow enough for me to, you know, do what I want to do. Next up, drink some water. Gotta hydrate. I honestly have no idea where she went or he went. I think they flew off the ship when I punched it, because I don't see her anywhere. Unless I just don't have line of sight. Yeah, I don't know where they are, and it's not my problem anymore. We done got rid of her. We spaced her. I might as well pick up the old suits. I can repair them. Nothing in the fridge, but a lot of coffee in the coffee machine. I guess this is where they're... Wow. Okay, I know why they didn't respond. One of my shots went straight into their nav console, which was here. I can see the control toggle, which was probably the shot I put in, because it was not a disabled ship until I shot it. So my initial shot blew up their nav console, and then they were just like... I put them out of their misery, to be honest. Otherwise, they're just like going to eventually decay orbit into Ceres and die on re-entry. So, like, you're welcome. Law enforcement officers, for me having a little lovely bit of mercy on you. So you didn't have to watch you slam into a dwarf planet at terminal velocity. Terminal as in, like, terminal to your life. Not as in a speed. Thanks for the Hydra, too. Yep, there we go. Put that down there. Another thing is their entire ship is mobile light. Yeah, another one of their Hydras got vaporized, exactly. Their entire ship is mobile light. So I could use their ship to expand my own. Wouldn't be a bad idea, given that they have like a railgun and radar and LiDAR and EM sensors and stuff like that. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to... I'm going to revisit, and I'm sorry if you find this annoying, I apologize. What I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit the expansions that I've made so far to my ship that were in non-mobile light and rebuild it in mobile light. I'm going to use their ship to improve my own. Because there's not going to be a lot of opportunity for me to improve my ship in quite this way. Because trying to get a lot of spare parts at Ceres is like actually relatively difficult. Now the pirate ship that we had disabled, you know, we could try to catch up with, but I think realistically we're not going to be able to. I would have had to intercept it first, likely, because I'm sure it's like drifting out to the middle of nowhere now. You know, it's possible we catch back up, but like it's improbable that we'll get there within a meaningful amount of time in order to like get it to slow down. Basically, I'm saying I'm probably not going to do it because it was moving quite fast. And there is I could batch order, but some of the pieces here, I wanted to keep, and some I don't. So I'm disassembling the parts that I want to toss, and then I'll batch uninstall the floors that I don't want to keep. Because the floor here and here, these are all the old school floors. The other thing is the other parts that I had on the ground, I can also ditch. Because I don't care for them either. And I'm only picking them up to be able to discard them. But hey, first confirmed kill. We're not a Red Baron yet, but like, hey, it's got to start somewhere. And of course, they weren't exactly firing back, but it was a very well armed enemy vessel. It wasn't like they were a civilian that I just like a miner that I blew up. They were an enforcement officer for the other faction that we took down. So some credit is due. I'm just going to stop holding that. Unless they're going to come back to haunt me, there shouldn't be really any threats from them anymore, as they are very gone. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I am not, however, looking for feedback. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow astronauts.